I'm Nick Altmeyer with linkinglewiscounty.com. We're here this morning with Lewis County Sheriff Michael Carpinelli, and we just wanted to give the sheriff an opportunity, just with a lot of things that have been in the news lately, some events that happened over the weekend. There's just wanted to give the sheriff an opportunity to talk a little bit about the enforcement of the governor's executive orders and some of the things that are going on with that. So, Sheriff, if you, first off, really appreciate your time here this morning, and if you just want to open up and just talk a little bit about what your department's role is with the social distancing and the wearing a mask and things like that.
On our end, it's the education part of it. You know, there's no criminal act to this situation. When people are out in public and they feel they're at risk, the people that feel at risk, then they should have the mask on. When people want to go to a gathering, if they don't want to contract the so-called virus that we have out there, they have the opportunity not to go to that gathering, or to wear the mask, or to ask others who may be around them either to stay that 6-foot distance from them out of respect to their health.
Okay, so obviously over the weekend there was it's been reported elsewhere that other officials in county government are talking about an illegal event that was held at the Stuck in the Muck off-road park. Is this something that your department was aware of beforehand, and was your department out there at all that day?
We were not aware of it beforehand. It wasn't an official event. They were given permission by a county official to hold a cleanup session, as they were told. The person that gave the county official information misled them, or they probably didn't give the correct information to him. But either way, there was a situation over the weekend that's uncontrollable. When a person decides to drink alcohol, to operate a machine in a manner that it's not meant to be operated in, not to wear a seatbelt, not to wear a helmet, and I feel very sorry for the family members that have to live through this. But when you don't follow the guidelines and don't follow the proper motor vehicle laws while operating a UTV, these are the things that happen. Okay,
so as far as if were there any complaints into your office that day, as far as like coming through the dispatch line? Were people calling in, concerned about the event or raising any concerns in that manner?
No, there was nothing through 911 that we had.
Okay, but there is a system through the governor's office where people can write in anonymous complaints about things that they're concerned about, and this is specifically for his executive orders dealing with gatherings, no large gatherings at this time, and the wearing of face masks and things like that. So a couple of complaints came through that system that day.
Yes, not that day, on both days, and what they really look like, so I can show the public, it's what they call the complaint referral from New York State and the Pause Enforcement Assistance. Mm-hmm. That's the form that is sent out to law enforcement.
And who receives copies of that here in the county?
The county currently, it's the county attorney, the county manager, and myself as the sheriff. As per a discussion we had yesterday, that's going to be changed also to also be shared with the New York State Police.
Okay. So on the weekends so this is generally coming into your
this comes to my personal county computer system.
Okay.
To my laptop or to my desk here. So in regards to the issue that you're asking about, the first one that came in on Friday night after 5 p.m. and it just said that there was going to be an event at the Speedway. Large group will be attending, and it has estimated number of individuals, 10 to 25.
Okay.
Now that's Friday. I'm already left the office. I haven't checked my emails or anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so did you just kind of want to go through a little bit on how things played out on Saturday during the day? Sure.
I received a phone call from a county official at around it was 9:45 Saturday morning, informing that they had been told, they had heard that there was some people gathering at a private campground, and felt that there was a concern on their part that it might be a bigger crowd than what they were told. That person had not seen it yet. It was just upon their word. I had not seen the complaint forms yet, and I said I'll take a look at them and let you know from there.
Okay. And was your office made aware of ahead of time if permission was given for them to have 20
No,
people
sir.
or whatever?
No.
Did you know that something was going to be going on there that weekend? Did anyone at the county level advise the sheriff's department that we gave permission for X amount of people to be at the Stuck in the Muck Up?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No.
So as far as when it comes to the executive orders, I know that you've been in discussion with our district attorney here in Lewis County as well, as far as what kind of enforcement policy is behind that. So if somebody, if you do get a complaint like that and you go out and investigate something like that, like what's the policy? Like, are you there to arrest people? Are you there to write people fines? Are you there to educate people on that they shouldn't be gathering like that? Like, what's that process look like?
We are not looking at arresting anybody. We're looking again at the education point of it. Just to go out there, ask people to, be respectful of others that are there, or anybody that may come in from the outside to want to see the event. Keep their 6 foot distancing if they can. If that people coming in don't feel comfortable, again, like I said, they can put their face mask on. We're not going to arrest anybody for not wearing a face mask.
Okay. And are those some of the complaints that you're getting in through the system? Like, what are the majority of the complaints looking like? Like, is it people complaining that people aren't wearing face masks? Is it about gatherings?
Well, as far as, I'm sorry, you mean the complaints that come in these forms?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, that's, it's here, I'll give you a couple of them here just to read out to the people. One was for a certain ice cream stand. A person complained that the people that were serving the ice cream weren't wearing face masks. Yet, there's a glass window separating those people. Yet, they're 6 feet back. Yet, the people set the ice cream down on the counter, and then the individual picks it up. So you get a complaint like that. Another one was a gentleman complained about a certain country club golfing, and didn't like the idea that there was 2 people in the golf cart together. Yet that person continued to play golf and drive a golf cart themselves there. Another one was, there was a certain other business within Lewis County where that person chose to go into that store on their own and saw that nobody was wearing a face mask. Well, if you don't feel comfortable with that, then that person would need to go and put a face mask on and go back into the store. The store didn't ask them not to wear a face mask.
Right.
People just chose not to wear a mask at the time. That's a public health measure too as well. That's not a law enforcement issue.
So what is the expectation from your department when these complaints come in? Like, what actually happens to these complaints? What are you doing with them? So if you get a complaint about somebody's not wearing a mask at the ice cream shop, do you have to send deputies out there to, like, what's that look like?
You would. I do not want to get in the habit of sending out any uniform to look like a private army or a private government task force to tell people, which is a common sense choice on them, to wear a face mask. So, no, I'm not going to send deputies out to do that. If they want to drive by, if I myself want to go out and see what the problem is, we'll take care of that. But we're not looking to intimidate. We're not looking to scare anybody into wearing a mask.
Okay. And if the weather's getting nicer, people are starting to get out with their ATVs and things like that. If you're coming across a group of like 100 people congested in a parking lot or something like that, like, the deputy stops, tells them to disperse, the people don't really comply with what the deputy's telling them. What does that look like from your perspective? Are there things like, because it's an executive order, is there any enforcement there? Like, is the DA what crime would you be able to charge them with that the DA would be able to prosecute if they're not abiding by what you're telling them to do?
Well, that's where all across the state of New York, everybody's conflicted with that. From the governor's office down to the state police, down to the sheriff's offices, down to the towns, village, and city police departments. There's been opposition into what is constitutional, what is we're not violating people's due rights. Like I say, we're not out there to be intimidators. Now, if there's a large crowd, we'll do our best we can to educate them that hey, can you spread out a little bit? Can you keep things apart? Be mindful of other people's health concerns. That's what we're going to do. We don't have the force. When I say that, manpower-wise, to try to control anything outside of what the governor's what the governor's asking. So,
and resources-wise, like generally in the county at any given time, there's generally a couple deputies on and a couple of state police.
Yes. But between, and I've said this for years since I've been the sheriff of this county and been lucky to be the sheriff of this county because of the people here. I've asked for manpower all the time. For a county that is a little over 1,100 square miles, 24/7, we may have 3 deputies on at a time. With the help of and the assistance also along with supporting the state police, they may have 2 troopers on. So let me see, that's 5 law enforcement personnel for an entire 1,100 square mile location that has not only highways and streets, but we have a lot of back country roads as well that we have. So it's a tasking job to do. The men and women that do it we're very grateful to them that they go out and do it every day. And as far as I know, so far the people of the county are happy with what we provided and how we do it. So those are our resources, Nick. And to try to control a much larger crowd with 5 people puts those law enforcement personnel in a risk also if a riot situation kicked off or if a large fight. What good are those 5 law enforcement officers now are going to do if there's a problem with a domestic in the area, if there's a problem with an accident in the area? I'm engaged in fighting an entire crowd over a public health concern.
Right.
That doesn't make too much sense.
And as far as outside of the complaints you get, and how many would you say you get through that system on a daily basis, weekly basis? Are we talking like tons?
Let's see.
I know you've got a few there. Yeah. Is that just from this week?
I would say if we get 1 or maybe 2 of these a week, 1 or 2 a week.
Okay.
They're not burning up my computer.
Okay. And as far as the dispatch line, which most people locally, I think, if they seen an issue that was really concerning to them or whatever, they're probably more than likely, just out of habit, going to pick up and call the dispatch line or the 911 center. Are you getting what's the call volume like there for complaints of this nature, as far as people not social distancing, people not wearing masks? Are the dispatchers getting a lot of complaints and calls?
No, we're not at all. It's unfortunate that we have other media outlets that are constantly running the pause enforcement to call that hotline. Why aren't you calling 911? Why aren't you calling the all-out universal number that we all agreed on years back was the most safest and efficient way to take care of an emergency? 911. But somebody else has decided that they want to have a complaint pause enforcement assistance hotline, and it doesn't go to 911. None of it does. And that shows to me that's left up to the discretion of the people that it's going to take action on those pause orders.
And can you just talk a little bit about, I know we talked a little bit about from a law enforcement standpoint, and not just dealing with these executive orders, but just in general, based on the community you're in and things like that, the discretion that is allowed with law enforcement agencies, as far as I guess the way to say it is, like, your number one goal is, you're not out there looking every day for, okay, who can we arrest today? It's more of a public safety type aspect. So anytime that you can handle a situation without making an arrest, educating people, things like that, there's discretion involved in all aspects of law enforcement.
Absolutely. Our first priority is the safety of the community, safety and helping out the community first. We're not, like I said, we're not riding around with our cars lettered up and our uniforms wearing to go out and intimidate people. We have a hard enough time trying to continue to keep the trust and to show people that we are good, that we are there for them. One outstanding thing that's nice about with the sheriff's office is that we are 100% committed to we work for the people. That's who in the long run, who elects the sheriff, and whom they trust will enforce those laws that are on the books in a fair and judicious manner, without involving the politics part of it. Some people are going to say, well, the sheriff here may have a strong stance on the Second Amendment. The sheriff may not agree with the governor of the state of New York. It doesn't matter what I agree with as far as the governor is. It doesn't matter what my stance on the Second Amendment is. What matters is that I follow the Constitution, the law of the land, to what the people govern ourselves by, and which I am governed by, the Constitution of the United States. And that's where I draw the line when it comes to following edicts, orders, executive orders, anything else that doesn't apply to our Constitution and to the right of the people.
Okay. And has your department issued any citations, fines, arrests, anything like that for?
No, we haven't.
I think I know the answer to the question, but just wanted to clarify. Sure. that at this point there haven't been any
No.
fines or anything like that.
No,
okay.
sir.
And as far as I think your message to people is still basically, do what's right, abide by the rules, abide by the laws. But if people do see something that's very concerning to them, they can reach out to the sheriff's office, and the sheriff's office is okay with educating people on what the rules are and how they should be behaving, but there's just kind of a lack of the I guess there's a gray area in what's enforceable and what's not enforceable with that.
Yes.
Okay.
But feel free to call 911. That's what it's there for.
Okay, perfect. Or if it's not actual an emergency, they can use the 376-3511 number?
Yes, our 3511 number. Yes. Yep, our non-emergency number. People will answer that as well, too, and we'll take care of the complaint that they have.
Okay, perfect. And also with the state police being in the area as well, calls can always be made to the state police as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Through our 911 center, we dispatch the village PD, we dispatch the sheriff's office and the state police. So it's a cooperative effort. So whatever person, whatever available agency is there closest to that call, that's what will be sent out.
And I'm not trying to put you on the spot to speak for the state police, but you do work closely with them locally with what you're doing here locally.
Yes, we do.
So are they are they kind of aligned on the same page with as far as the not being able to issue fines and arrests and things like that?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so yes, you guys are aligned here locally as law enforcement between the state police and the county and
absolutely.
How to carry out these policies.
We are.
And best educate the public. All right. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add for people today?
No, I'm good with that. Thanks, Nick.
All right. Well, thanks, Sheriff. We really appreciate your time today.
Appreciate you putting that out there.
Yep.
Thank you.